Oh,
Happy
there you
dadgum
go.
New Year. There we go. Here we go.
Dadgum. Yeah, it's always good when you start a show off with dadgum.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
because Dad had no teeth and he had no
Oh,
other choice.
yeah,
Hi,
I wanted to show
everybody.
you.
Happy New Year. We're glad you're with us tonight. We are in rare form tonight. So
We
hang on. There's no telling what's going to happen here. So just look out. I don't even know.
shenanigans.
And and
Shenanigans.
something about mischief and mayhem, which concerned me because I skipped over the part that said shenanigans. And if there's not going to be shenanigans, I'm not sure that I want to go.
You saw Mr. Oh, we
Hi,
saw
Facebook user.
I like yeah. You saw mischief and mayhem and went for it. You're like, oh yay, yay.
That's right. I
Yeah,
want.
I
I
wanted
want
to show
more.
you. Alex got me these blue diamonds,
Oh,
and I
those are.
probably won't wear them the whole time. But look at how awesome they look with the hair.
They look good. They really are good. You were wearing those on the Wednesday call this week. I like that.
Yeah, I was. If they didn't glare, I'd wear them all the time. But
Yep.
I wanted to tell you my little radio story.
Oh, I got to hear this, but hang on.
Okay.
Facebook user, put your name in there so we know who you are. Then, hi, Teresa. We see your name. So,
Teresa Staples,
hey,
yay!
Maureen.
Happy
Okay.
2024. Love you. Okay, you want to hear the radio one?
Meanwhile, back at the radio.
Radio. Okay, so I suppose I should start. I'm trying to make this short. Hi, Maureen. She already read this story too. So the reason this is so important to me is because this all happened before. Okay, the first time something like this happened, was in the 90s, and Avon hooked up a radio interview, and I went on a local radio interview with an Avon employee and never done it before. And
Right.
you know how good I am about new stuff, right? But they said
You embraced it.
yeah, you praise
You wrap yourself up
that's
in
my
it.
word, yeah.
It's a
But
word for the air.
I did good enough that somebody else that had a show called me and said, I'd like to interview you too. This is in the 90s. So I
Mhm.
did a second radio show, and that was Joanne Randall had a show and interviewed me. She liked how we worked out so well that when she went on vacation and needed a sub for 2 weeks, I did her show as the person doing the interviews while she was
Right.
away. And
Right.
then the radio station had an opening, and I did a radio show for 6 months. I had my own radio show.
Wow.
I know.
I remember
So
that in your bio, but yeah, I love it because that's one of those things that when you hear the story, it just makes it much better than reading it in a bio. So,
well, wait till you hear what happened now, because why I like to share these things is because people looking for marketing tips.
uh-huh.
This is how this stuff happens.
You're right.
Is you have to be prepared and capitalize on stuff. Okay, so driving home last week from Yonkers to New Hampshire, I get a text message, and it's a radio DJ, and he
I
said,
was embracing your word for the year. Okay, go back to
"Thank
the
you."
story.
It was a radio DJ, and he said, "I was behind you on the Merritt Parkway, and here's my number. Can you call into the radio show?" Now, normal people probably would have gone, I'm going to call the number right now and get on the show right now. But to me, I wanted to, let's see, milk this for every possible opportunity, right? So, right. Well, not that bad, but I said, oh, I can't call in right now, but why don't I set up a date to call in? So I'm going to be on the radio show on the 11th. And that's going to give me time. I asked them for the mailing address so I can mail them my media kit, which you've gotten. I called it the Get to Know Lisa kit when I sent it to
Right.
you.
Right.
I think Peg talked me into calling it a media kit. So I'm going to send them my media kit because what they want me to talk about, because they don't know anything about my story, they want
Right.
me to talk about adventures I've had in the van. And they're going to get a big kick out of the fact I had a car on a magazine, I think.
That's true. They
So,
will.
but what ended up happening so far, because these kind of things are what leads to bigger things, and I call it the Pink Floyd marketing rule, right? Another brick in the wall.
Okay.
Floyd
Perfect.
marketing rule. Okay, this is a
Mhm.
brick, but so I sent them that, and they're going to have me on the show, but I asked them what did they think I could talk about that would bring value to their audience, and they did say things about the thing. But I'm going to work in the blue hair story because I'm going to
Good.
send a book with it too.
Good.
I think, you have to have short stories that are funny for radio, I
Right.
think.
Right.
Yeah, and I
Well,
wanted time to prepare, but I think, and this is the part. I didn't know at the time, but once I found out who they were, I looked up their phone number, we did all that stuff and texted back and forth, and they have a Facebook group for the radio show, so I went and followed it,
oh,
and
good.
then I saw that they posted a picture of my van, the back of my van, with the lipstick. You know what I mean? The lips with
Uh,
the lipstick thing, and the back of my van also has my
Down south,
URL.
we call those windshield wipers.
Red, thank you. Mine has a lipstick on it. Anyway.
Hang
Oh
on, I
man,
forgot my coffee cup.
don't make me. Okay. Don't do it. Okay. So, but they posted on the back of my van is my URL. So they posted,
Oh,
right, they posted that on their site, and it said something along the lines of, you heard us talking about the Avon lady on the show today. Here's the picture that he saw when he was driving behind her. So
how
they
big is
already
that
did it.
audience for them? Do you know?
I don't know yet. No, I don't know. But it doesn't matter because I'm utilizing this happening with my audience.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I took a screenshot of what the radio show said and my back of my van, and I made a
Mhm.
reel for it of
Your
just
I
the
like your
screenshot.
reels. You do a great
Thank
job for
you.
reels. Plus, you're doing a great job for Bob and I on the graphics for the
I,
endorsements, and
I'm having fun learning how to do that.
yeah.
But the reel already got 1,100 views in less than 24 hours. That's the one. So it almost doesn't matter if their radio show is really big. It's people I don't know yet. And
Yeah.
it also gives me an opportunity to parlay it into more things. Because
You
I
know
just told everybody in the sun that the radio mentioned me or saw me. So
you
it
know,
doesn't almost matter
somewhere
how big the station is.
somewhere I've read that you can be successful at anything as
If
long as
enough
enough
people
people
know.
know what you do.
Well, that's where the brick in the wall, the Pink Floyd marketing rule comes in. Because to get enough people to know what you do, you have to have all these bricks of. Because
I get it.
don't you have this? Don't you have people say this to you? They're like, "Well, I ran an ad in the paper, and I'm sitting here waiting for all this business to come in. That's the only thing I've done." One thing is never gonna
It's like when an
be.
author publishes a book and they think, well, the marketing will happen. It'll take care of itself. The
No.
publisher will do it. People will just love it so much. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to
Yeah.
go out and make it work. So,
Yeah. Oh, Lisa Williams said you're going to be on a radio show. I effing love how big you dream and do. Thank you very much, Lisa. Lisa, I hope you celebrate, treat yourself for all your hard work. I'll have to check out your reels. You know I love digital stuff. I just started making them like in August, I think, and I've done. I think it's 70 something now, and I haven't been in any of them. That I just do like still shots and or pictures and a carousel. I haven't progressed to doing anything myself yet. But Jeff had a suggestion. Do you remember the potty mouth grandma? You wanted me to
oh
do it.
yes, I didn't in my mind I didn't equate that to your reels, but yeah, there's a lady I think it was on TikTok, but I can't swear to that because I don't have TikTok on my stuff anymore. But she was absolutely here. She's a sweet little old grandma, and she'll get on there and say some of the most abrasive, foul stuff, and you're going, "What? Granny doesn't talk that way. What?" It's
And
just
it's
hilarious.
funny because the irony of it,
Yeah.
right?
Let's say hi to everybody. Facebook user on the last chapter of the book. I love it.
Oh,
Okay,
good. Yay.
cool.
That means she's reading
Yeah.
the whole
And I
book
don't
in
know who
one
you are, but I'm going to say hi to you anyway. Lisa Williams, hello. Scott, as all man, we appreciate you. Laurie, Hannah Walsh is there.
Oh,
Yay.
and Scott had a thing. What they did, this is genius of the place he's going. He's going to a speaker school.
Hmm.
Okay. I hope you don't mind me telling this, Scott. And he's going to a
It's
speaker
our show.
school.
He'll get over it.
Nice. Have some more wine. That's a great
Hang on,
idea.
I forgot my coffee cup.
But the guy doing Scott, if you could put the guy's name in case anybody else wants to join you in the speaker school thing. Um, the speaker school gives them, I think, isn't it Daniel Gomez? Is that somebody you recognize? Jeff? No.
The name sounds familiar. Hey,
He does a speaker school, but he gives the attendees a graphic. Yeah, it's Daniel Gomez.
Okay.
A graphic with their picture in it saying they're attending the big school. So it
Hmm.
gives him an opportunity to promote that he's going to be at this thing.
Good.
And that's kind of perfect. It's like adds a lot of value to Daniel Gomez's program to make those for the attendees, and for
Right.
the attendees, it gives them another opportunity to promote themselves. So I
By the
think
way,
that's beautiful.
you and I got mentioned today, and Bob got mentioned today uh, in a. I take every. I'm not sure how much everybody knows and follows. I take a writing class. John David Mann is a friend of mine, but he's also my mentor as far as writing goes, and he's my writing coach. I take a class from him, and he was complimenting the book launch things that you and I did with Blue Hair, and then what's happening now with Streetwise. And we were brought up, and I was telling him, I said, one of the best things about what you've done in the process of Blue Hair, and what you've done for Bob and I, and what you're making the magic happen on a lot of this with Streetwise, is that with those promotional graphics, we're
Endorsements.
really we're showing the endorsement, but we're also driving people to get to know the person who endorsed. We got their website up there and all that, and so every time we can post, we can tag that person in the post, and oftentimes then they're resharing that in their group. And so it's brilliant marketing, but it's also the right way to do stuff. They've done us a nice favor by giving us an endorsement, but we're focusing on how can we help their business, and that's our intent with that. And that I have nobody to thank for that but you, kiddo, because you're the one who came up with that for Blue Hair, and yeah, and I was just so appreciative. But I was enjoying getting to brag on you today, to John. So
Oh, thank you. You know where I got that idea from?
you've
It was
told me,
the
but
play.
it may be the coffee, but I don't remember
No,
the.
it was the play.
Hmm,
Why I decided to make graphics for each of the cast members and the crew is
right,
because when I out and out just asked people if they promote the play, they said they'd do it, but then they didn't, and they didn't come up with their own thing.
right,
This made it so that they didn't need to do anything. I
right.
would just post the graphic on my page, and I would tag them, be friends with them, tag them, and it would show up on their page. And their family and friends were thrilled because it was them, their picture, and their bio and stuff. And
Yep,
then when we went to do Blue Hair, I looked at all my past stuff that I did for Avon and for the play, and I
right,
thought, what things can I adapt to this new project
right.
that we could use again? So
Well,
I thought
it's
that was
just brilliant in my opinion, and it's the right way to do business, because again, you're not just looking out for what you can do. You're looking at how can I help others do stuff, and but the byproduct is it always comes back to you. Like one of our endorsements for Streetwise to Saleswise is from a guy named Heath Oakes, who's a CEO for a large insurance carrier, and he was one of the endorsements. So I put it out there, and I'm tagging him in it and putting it on Facebook and LinkedIn and all of that. He's resharing it and saying to all of my friends in sales, go buy this book.
yeah.
It doesn't get much better than that.
No, I know it. It's perfect. Yeah, and I think it's the whole go giver philosophy,
It is.
right? So if you guys haven't, I know most of you that have followed us for this past year have heard us talk about the go giver more than you probably wanted, but
They'll be tired. I don't think so.
I think matter of fact, many of you told me that you've got went and bought the Go Giver book. There's a series
Good.
of books, but we pretty much, I don't know, I consider myself pretty much following that as a way of, I don't want to say a way of life, but it is kind of like a way
Right.
of life. Yeah,
Right.
because it makes sense to me. It's not because I'm buying into something, it makes sense to me. I agree with it. I felt that way about stuff before I read the book, and the book just validated my feelings. I think that was it.
I think that hits the nail on the head perfectly, because it's not like you or I, and nor I don't think with anybody else I've met in the Go Giver group. It's not like, okay, that book changed us. We weren't that way before and we are
Yeah,
now. It validated how we already kind of did business. And so we're naturally congregating around people who think that way. And
yeah,
Bob and John did a great job on the book, and Bob and Kathy have done a great job of building the momentum over the years, where it's just a huge movement now. And it 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 maybe it gave us a validation on who we already were, and just the sheer fact of knowing that there are people out there like that, because we all run into people who don't do business that way. It's more
Right.
about what they can get out of it and all that. And there's nothing wrong with earning a lot of money. It's great. You just do it by serving a lot of people. You've sold millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of, can I say their company name?
Yes,
Of,
you can.
of Avon
Big one.
products over the years. Not because you sold a bunch of it to one person and just got rich. You've helped millions and millions of people with their everyday lives, and that's why it pays you so well. So that's great.
Well, and you know what? Direct sales, and you're going to feel this way about insurance probably once I say it, but has been a great teacher of all of this to me,
Mhm.
because I know darn well if I'm not thankful to the customers, they'll just buy from someone else or go down to Rite Aid and get it quicker or whatever, because I sell a commodity that's easily bought somewhere else.
Right.
So there has to be a connection with me, and every interaction with me has to be something good and
Yeah.
memorable, and that's what I hope for anyway.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. So I did want to say, this afternoon at one, when we were doing the send out cards thing, what we were talking about is thank you notes. And I came up with a thought that I think the people in this group might appreciate, especially Peg. Peg does send out cards with us. Hey, Peg. And you know what I thought is, if everybody sent one thank you note a day, just one thank you note a day, and it would have it wouldn't be necessarily somebody did something for you, bought something for you. It could be like, um, I looked up the guy that I saw. They did a story about him in the newspaper, the crossing guard in Goffstown, in the town next door. And he
Mhm.
was there for years. And that's almost like a military service doing. And he got up every morning, get out there for years. I sent him a thank you note with his picture that I took when I was going by one time and stuff. And he was thrilled. So it was just a card of gratitude. But if
Right.
we sent a gratitude or thank you card every day for 1 year, I think everybody's business and personal life would explode
Think of
over
what it could really
thank
do
you.
as far as changing the world, because
Yeah.
the world has kind of gotten nuts, and people have devolved into the point where when they don't agree, they assign evil meaning to the person who thinks differently.
Yeah.
Just
And
think,
that's
if
a shame.
what if we all started doing something exactly like that? If it
I
may
think that'd
start
be
as
awesome.
a small snowball, but think about the magnitude of
I
that.
think
So,
I think I'm going to have to take that on as a mission or something, because it just seems like that would be such a great idea. And then, after a couple weeks, so you'd be sitting there having to really think about who to send one to, because after you got like 14 in, you'd be like, well, I've already thanked the bus driver and thanked the Girl Scout leader, and and you'd have to look around and really find some gratitude every day, I think.
the one
So
thing that I've started doing, it hasn't been all that long. I'm guessing maybe a year or two, something like that. Is every time I'm anywhere, whether I'm in the line at the post office, whether I'm in the grocery store line, whatever, when the person that's behind the counter is helping me, I'll either make sure I see their name tag, or if they don't have one, I'll ask them their name. And then when they repeat it to me, I'll do it immediately. I'll use their name and I'll say, well, like, thank you, Jill, for helping with that. I really appreciate you. And it's just things like that. They're shocked almost, and that's a shame. But I'm glad to be the one to shock them.
yeah. I'm trying to think of I had these tokens. They were like coins that I bought from Vaudeville eons ago. You remember Vaudeville? You bought from
Uh
them
huh.
too. Yeah, they did certificates. They still sells that stuff, by the way. But they had tokens for a while, and I forgot what they were called. I think they were gratitude tokens. And what the whole thing premise was behind it was that you try to find someone to give it to, but you tell them, I'm giving this to you, but you can't keep it. You've got to find
Pay
somebody
it
to be
forward.
grateful for and give it to them.
I
So,
love it.
hey, Kim. Kim's on. Kim was on
Hey,
the
Kim.
Zoom at one too. Yeah, Peg's on and Kim's on. Peg says, love that daily gratitude card idea. I sure act on that daily. Yeah, we already do, but I think it might be nice to have, that might be some like thing we could do a graphic for and really get going on that. I like
Get Cody to buy into it and start promoting it at his level.
Oh, that's a good idea. Send the idea to Cody.
Uh-huh.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't know, I can see even if you messed up and didn't send it all the time, just sending out that much gratitude would change your business.
Yeah.
If
It
nothing
cha-
else, it would change your business, I think.
and the biggest thing it changes
You,
you.
right?
It changes how you think because if every day you're taking the time to think, okay, who is someone that's done something that I'm grateful for that I can send this to them? Because sometimes as life just happens every day, we can either get caught up in the hustle and bustle, maybe not think of things, or we can get caught up in what's not necessarily going right. That simple act of every day thinking, okay, what am I grateful for? Who am I grateful for that I could send them this card? See that?
Okay, speaking of gratefulness, I'm wondering if your other, probably not, because your other co-authors have done books with other people. Although so had I. I was gonna say, I was gonna say, um, that it was so unexpected that I was changed so much from doing that book project with you that I wonder if everyone that does a book project has that experience, but probably not everyone.
Well, everybody comes to it from wherever they are. And
Yeah,
like with this one with Bob, Streetwise gets released next Tuesday, the 9th. Pre-orders are already happening, as everybody knows. In that mix, Bob's already got a celebrity status that's pretty large.
right.
And although he's very
Well,
humble about that, it's true. It's out there.
he's not going to
And,
get as excited about little stuff as I do, right?
yeah, but he's also, I can't tell you how much he expresses his um, his love of what we've done together, how complimentary he is to me
Oh,
of the lead
nice.
writing, um, and he is working like crazy now, helping to put all the gears in place. It's kind of like
Yeah.
when you and I did Blue Hair. I was a lead writer. I was doing all of my work, well, not all of my work, but a good chunk of my work came in early. This has been the same with Bob and I. I'm using his material, my material, and putting it together in the story and we were back and forth on making it the best we could get it.
Mhm.
But he's going into overdrive now about reaching out to people. I've been invited to be on podcasts that I would have never been on before,
Oh, that's
even though
awesome.
I'm getting known and all that. This is just it's
That
a
is
next
awesome.
elevation of that.
Yeah.
And I so far I've had three parables published. I wrote one with you, one with Bob, and one with me. I like all of my co-authors.
Yeah, that it was just so funny that I ended up being the changed person deal.
I
And
changed.
now, but when you
I,
went into it, did you expect that to happen to me?
I had no clue what would happen. It wasn't that I didn't expect it or I did expect it, but
You didn't, yeah.
the changes that you went through have been absolutely part of the joy, and it's brought changes with me too.
Oh, it
I
did.
have, I've gotten more joy out of this process than you'll ever know. And even though I've told you how much I appreciate things and all that, the internal joy that I get from us doing this, from us becoming such good friends, but also the people that have read Blue Hair
Oh,
that
that's
have either said to you or to me how much they love the book and how it was making changes in their world.
yeah,
Uh,
that's
John David Mann sent out an email yesterday. It's his monthly email he sends out to everybody that's on his email list. And he was talking about the benefits of being an author. And John makes a living as an author. I make money as an author, but if I didn't have my retirement income, I'd still have to work. I mean, I'm making money, but it's not
yeah.
enough to live on. That being said, um, well, it's not enough to live on in the lifestyle I want to live. All right, so we'll leave it at that. But that's terrible. I apologize. All right. But in his email, one of the things he said was one of the things that makes him love it so much is when someone will tell him that something he wrote changed their life. And okay, don't let me get teary eyed here. I've
Oh,
had that happen a bunch with Blue Hair, some with the Unexpected Tour Guide, but it didn't get as big of an audience as Blue Hair has, although sold a lot of copies of the book and all that. But as far as the social media interaction and all that, that wasn't around then.
right.
And so now I'm getting exposed to people who it means something to. That's one of those wheelhouse things for me
Awesome.
that hits all of my buttons. I'll just leave it
Well,
at that.
and you know what is going to be awesome for you and for me and everybody else you work with now is that the bigger your profile gets, we're all going to want to help you, because every time that you get on a podcast and stuff, it's likely they're going to mention your other material, your other work.
Right.
And people that like your new stuff usually always go back. I know I do it. When I like someone's new book that just came out that I heard about and never knew them before, I'll go back
Mhm.
and look for their old stuff.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to benefit. So it's awesome. You're bringing all of us are going to want to work to help you every launch.
Thank you.
Well, for selfish reasons too.
I understand. Well, it's a perfect example of the rules or the principles of the go-giver, and all the first four about being focused on everybody else, do that, but then that receptivity comes back, because when you're focused on other people and really wanting to do what's right for them, it can't help but come back to you, and
Well, I
that's one
agree.
of those things.
Yeah. I know. No, that's just yeah. We had fun in the group on Wednesday. We had fun in the group, and oh, you know what, Anna, is it Concevalis? I can't say her last name.
Close
Concevalis.
enough.
Can't say. Okay.
Consuelos.
She didn't know that story about the blue hair thing. She didn't know. So
That's
I
right, because she
almost
came on board in the group after that, didn't she?
right, many of them did, and I usually tell it if I get a breakaway, someone that doesn't know. But I should probably raise my hand and say it to the whole group one time again, because so it's just such an endorsement for the group.
It is. It
Either that,
really
or
is.
maybe I should do Bob a video for it or something, and
Yep.
then I could also make a reel of it. Well,
Hey,
there you
Jill
go.
Saylor. Now I know who the Facebook user was. That's Jill Saylor. I think your posts are so much fun. Anyway, okay, back
Yeah,
up.
she just bought the book and she's just getting done reading it too. Oh, thank you, Jill. Yay. And let's see, Scott says, if Blue Hair was never written, I would have never went to Denver to achieve. That's true, because he went out there to go to that book signing and never started his own book, which he's just finishing up, and never
Good.
had joined the speaker thing. Oh, and that I was going to mention that if you live in the Denver area or want to fly in for this, it's a hub from Southwest. So if you live at another hub, this wouldn't be that much money to go in. I can get you into this event, Scott or I could, because we get so many free tickets as members. So if you want to go with us, but what a great, I joined that group because I had such a great time last year in February. And
Yep.
that's where I got my headshot done.
Yep.
Yeah. What a
That
great
sounds
group.
good when you're talking about pictures. Bad when you're talking about weapons. Sorry. Anyway.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, you said it was a headshot. That's a bad thing for a policeman to hear. All right.
Jeez.
I'm sorry. I'm going back to drinking my coffee.
What the hell, man?
By the way, while you're in Denver, if I remember correctly, you are going to have a birthday.
Yes. Is it? But the meeting's going to be over by then, because this year it's on a Sunday. I think I'll be flying that day, which is all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going. I'm going backwards for age years, so it'll be. I'm
Well,
going to be 59 again.
just tell everybody you're 59 plus shipping and handling.
Plus shipping and handling. I was thinking of sticking with 49. That would be even better.
For 30 years, my sister kept celebrating the anniversary of her 29th birthday.
Yeah,
When
once
it
the
finally hit
island.
the 30th anniversary of her 29th birthday, she stopped.
Oh, yeah, the other thing, I need a refresh of the blue, though, because, yeah, I'm not getting away with much with it this light.
It
Yeah.
just dawned on me that I am not wearing my traditional dynamic blue uniform tonight. I'm not wearing a Tommy Bahama shirt. I'm wearing a kind of a warmer
And you don't have
over
your
jacket.
bracelet on. You don't have your bracelet on. He's not going to look. If you're watching this or watching it live or the replay and you don't have your bracelet on, I can send you one. I still have some. So, Facebook user said you're glowing, Lisa. I bet that's Janet Leonard. That would be my guess. Maybe not. Who wrote that? You have to
She
write
does have
that.
a smile on her face a lot, doesn't she? So that's a good thing.
And
I like seeing you
Scott,
happy. It makes me happy to see you happy. It really
oh,
does.
thank you. Scott said,
See,
I'm 49 on Saturday, really, and looking forward to it. Oh, nice. Plus
Scott, you're a
shipping.
youngster. You're
Peg
a
said,
youngster.
yeah, actually, right. Peg said plus shipping and handling. That's good. That was good. Yeah, I'm 49 plus shipping and handling.
Yeah, we're almost to the end. couple of things, everybody. If you are just now reading Blue Hair, I'm going to drop a hint to my Jill Saylor there. If you're just now reading Blue Hair, once you finish it, if you don't mind jumping on Amazon, put in a three or four sentence review. What happens when people review the books on Amazon, when someone's reading anything similar, it pops it up and says, "Hey, you might like this book too." And so, by all means,
And we're
please.
still trying to hit the 100. We were trying for 100 reviews. I think we're maybe 70 or 69.
Last time I checked, it was like 70 something. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're still looking for that because that brings another level of legitimacy to the
Right.
book, and more people will get referred to it.
Right. And for those of you who may be interested, the new book that Bob Berg and I have written, Streetwise to Saleswise, Become Objection Proof and Beat the Sales Blues. Now, I just love the title.
Awesome.
I have to thank Alexandra Watkins for helping me with the title. But the thing is set in New Orleans. It's another story like Blue Hair. You're going to love the story so much that, yeah, you'll learn something, but it's more, you're just going to love the story. At least I think so. My background's in music, so music plays heavily in it. The feel of New Orleans plays heavily in it. Jill and I were messaging about that today, about New Orleans. She's got to find her someone to take her on a trip there that knows the area, because she'll have to.
Yeah.
But
that's right, because you said it's way better when you bring somebody that knows the area.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Tell them the secret. Tell them the secret about the audio.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, guys, you got to keep this between us. I'm not putting that out in the general public. All right. This is just between you and me and our closest friends that seem to be a lot that listen to this show. All right. In the audiobook, I actually, again, music is a very big theme here. And I used to play professionally in a Dixieland band, so I worked that into the main character's life. But there's one particular scene in the audiobook, and I won't tell you where it comes in, but he's passing a Dixieland band playing, and rumor has it that I sing in the audiobook. I'll just leave it at that.
Song. What do they call that when you can do? Is it the growl?
I'd call it the growl. The
growl. Yeah, you can do the
song.
Growl. You're good at it because you did it in the Garth song.
Yeah,
right.
This particular song is it's an old standard that nobody can whoever wrote the song, it's over 100 years old. Whoever wrote it's a little bit in dispute, but Louis Armstrong made it famous, so I did it in my best impression of Louis. And I debated whether or not to keep it in there. It is in public domain, so that wasn't an issue. But I debated whether or not to keep it in there because I don't consider myself a singer. I'm a musician, but not necessarily a vocalist.
You're a good singer, though.
Well, yeah. I think it turned out all right. So
yeah, no, it did. I heard the.
Well, you heard the first cut. Yeah, you heard the first cut that I went back in and recut it because I wasn't completely happy with it.
Of course, so you
did. That's me. You know me. But so the one in the audiobook will.
It's awesome.
It's pretty good. And I actually wrote an original. I don't know what I'm going to tell that or not. Anyway, there are surprises in the book. I'll just leave it at that. So.
Lori says, OMG, New Orleans, wow, sentimental location. Avon's convention was there in 2019. Great music and culture. And you know what's too bad? I think that's why Jill has it's not as fun when you go there with 5,000 people. It's true. More fun when you go with a couple couples and one of them's from there and they can show you around and stuff. When you go with 5,000 people, like any convention, it's hard to get in restaurants. It's hard to go down and see anything because there's so many of you all there together.
So I think I have been to New Orleans, even if it was just for a few hours, 4 times over the last 12 months. And it was every bit for research on this book. But
I bet it was.
The opening scene of the book is actually in the Louis Armstrong Park. And I went for one day and just sat there for 2 hours just to experience the park.
Oh, that's neat.
And I love stuff like that. But I do like New Orleans. But this last time I went, we went with 2 other couples, both of whom had lived there at one time. Oh, it was.
In Louis Armstrong's Park, where the white, that iconic picture is, where they usually have the wagon out front, right? That one.
I don't know that picture. You'll see this one a lot with this big bridge that kind of it goes in a large expanse over the area, and the statue of Louis Armstrong is pretty big.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I'll have to show you that and see if that's the one. Okay, that's awesome.
Anyway,
Yeah, the blue shades are a gift from Alex, my son.
I
That's
love
why I'm
those.
wearing them. They're cute. I'm gonna wear them doing something here because they match
Right.
my hair.
But for those of you that if you would like to get you can download the first two chapters on the website streetwise to saleswise.com, which basically takes you to a page on my website. But that's the easiest way to get there. You can download the first two chapters both in audiobook and in PDF format, so you can read it whichever is your preferred way. I got tickled. Peg had downloaded that. It's just about that. It's just the opening chapters, and the first two chapters are just all me on the narration. Bob comes in on the third chapter, and I felt like I started to tell you, Peg. I started saying that's to tease you into wanting the rest of the book, so you can hear Bob.
You can hear Bob. Yeah, Bob's got a good voice too. The both of
He
you.
does
The
great.
both of you.
Bob's voice. Bob has one of the most amazing abilities, both in vocalization and in how he delivers whatever words are coming out of his mouth. He and I were on a call today, and we were just talking about some things, and just the way he was saying certain things is like I feel like I'm in the presence of greatness. I really did, and I was. But he's such a humble guy; he'd be embarrassed as heck if I said that in front of people. Which apparently I didn't do that. This doesn't count. All right, but anyway.
Yeah, no groveling in person. That
That's
was.
right. But I totally forgot where I was going. But anyway, you can get the opening chapters there. You can even pre-order there if you want it. You can. The pre-orders are live on Audible. They're live on Amazon for Kindle. And if you want to pre-order the hardback, which I highly recommend, it is just a gorgeous book, is on Barnes and Noble. Once it's released on Tuesday, the hardback will also be there on Amazon. Amazon's hardback doesn't use the dust cover though; they just print the cover on the book.
Oh, good.
But
Good.
that's okay. So
I can't wait to get it. So if you guys want to all help them promote their book, one of the ways that you can do that is I made two reels actually. One of them is for their number one in the category on Amazon, and that's actually doing well. That has 1,000 views already. And the second one was the endorsement one. But you could go in my reels, grab either one of those, and forward it, and it's
yeah,
got
sure.
their URL on it and everything. So you
Yeah.
wouldn't have to make something up if you wanted to do that.
Right. Or if you see either of us posting things that like Lisa made up some beautiful endorsement graphics, like I was talking about earlier. When you see us post one, if you want to help spread the message, share that. Heck, if we're not already friends, make sure you friend me so that you always see the stuff. But share that. I can always use more friends. I like you. Do y'all like me? Do you like me? Do you like me?
Yes, they like me. They really like
They
me.
really like me. That reminds me, I had so much fun in DC in August having everybody come up and play. That was such a blast. That was such a blast. Thank you for encouraging me to go. So,
Okay, we won't touch that with a 10-foot pole encouraging you. No, those things are always fun though. San Antonio and DC. I hope they do one this year where they haven't said whether they're going to or not. But it's just fun to have thousands of people with all the same, somebody because we sell so much consumer goods stuff. That somebody there is wearing your same shirt you're wearing, somebody carrying your same purse, someone's wearing your jewelry. It just is cool to look around and have so much stuff in common with so many people, I think.
yeah.
It's fun.
I know we're running over, and and I apologize if people want to go. But the other thing I was going to say is I had such a blast over Christmas. I got to go to Chattanooga, and both of my daughters and their families came in from North Texas and Tennessee. My sister and little brother came up from Georgia, nephews and their families. I got to see so many people. I also got to see Don King in person.
Yes.
Don's one of my friends, in the Go Giver group. Those of you that don't know, Don's got a great book out too called The Way of the 3-Year-Old Why. I love that book. But got to see him. And then this next weekend, I'm going to San Antonio, and I'm going to get to see Harjeet Rathore and her family because her son's graduating from the Air Force boot camp or whatever that's there. And so I'm excited about that. Life is good.
You'll be one of the master coaches at the Go Giver retreat.
Right, at the Beyond the Mastermind retreat in late January. Matter of fact, while you're going to Denver, Alex will be in Jupiter, Florida, and then Bob and I are going to take a planning day after that because we're kind of planning some stuff.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
I'll leave that hanging out there. We're thinking about doing some things together on a bigger scale. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, I
it's
bet
a
you're
blessing.
happy as punch.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing. So
Well, I think that's it for tonight, huh?
it is. I know we should go. I'm just visiting now. Wait a minute. I need more coffee.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, everybody. And, keep track on the page because we're always looking for good ideas to help promote the new book, which also helps promote our book, the Blue Hair book. Always looking for new ideas and suggestions on how to do that. So if anything we talked about turns some wheels in your head, make sure you message me or post it in the group so we can see if we can get after it.
We love you guys, and thank you, Peg. I just saw your correction. It's called basic training in the Air Force, not boot camp! Exclamation point.
What? I didn't know that.
I didn't either, but I do now. Thank you, Peg.
Thank you, Peg. Peg is the connector. She is
She
that
is.
guy
She's
in the
awesome.
book. She is that guy in the book, the one we all want to be. That's
That's
what
right.
she's actually
She's
doing it.
pinned. She's Pindarette. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Pindarette. No, not
Yeah,
Pindar, the connector guy. The
I'm
connector.
thinking. Oh, that's right. I'm thinking Pindar, but you're thinking the other guy. Okay, gotcha.
I'm thinking the other guy. I forgot what his name is, but it's the other guy.
Yeah, I'm drawing a
Okay.
blank.
Okay, well, thank you everybody so much. We appreciate you. We'll be back next Thursday.
Love you
And
guys.
talk to you in the group. Love
Bye.
you. Bye. Oh, look at you.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
we're still live. You are looking at me.